angels in heaven done signed my name. The angels in heaven done signed my name. Welcome back, folks, to I Know I've Been Changed. Now we're on the advanced version of the song. If you have not checked out the beginners and the intermediate version yet, I would highly recommend you do so. The way I shoot tutorials, especially song tutorials, is I layer stuff. The ultimate goal is so that you'll be able to then take songs and do this on your own. But before you can do that, you need to be able to see the trajectory. You need to see how I was able to take a basic song or a basic version of a song, what I did to make it more intermediate, and then what I did to it to make it more advanced. So this is sort of the later intermediate, early advanced, advanced level version of the tutorial. Right at the beginning, at the countdown before we go in, I added a 5 chord. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a rootless voicing altered chord. So this is the chord. And it's an E flat, 7, flat, sharp 9. So we have the root 3rd, 7, sharp 9, right? And the B is creating the augmented, right? So I'm doing this little chromatic walk. So it's rootless because I'm not playing the root. And that just takes me back now to the 1. So I just did that as a sort of a simple turnaround. And then you'll see me do that throughout the song, constantly going to that 5. And then we start again. And we talk about this rhythm in the intermediate version. So I'm doing it here again, right? Together, staggered, together. So that's all I'm doing there. And it doesn't happen for a long time, right? And then I'm doing, no, I've been changed. And that's the melody. And again, you can embellish it, you can variate it, you can play it all different type of way. This melody, you have a lot of flexibility how you can do it. And we talk about uses of the blues scale in the intermediate version of this song, right? So you can really embellish that. So, I know I've been changed. Now, before I go to the 5, I'm throwing in a secondary dominant, which is, because the secondary dominant leads you up a 4th, right? Goes to the E flat. So this B flat is acting as a secondary dominant. But I'm altering it. So I'm thinking of it almost like a flat 13th, right? Because I have the 5th here and the flat 13th here. So I'm just extending. Do you struggle with these 3 crucial questions? What to practice, how to practice effectively, and when to move on to the next level? Without clear answers, progress is slow and frustrating. This is why I created PianoLessonWithWarren.com, a structured program tailored for gospel pianists, guiding you from beginner to advanced seamlessly. At every step, you'll know exactly what to practice, how to practice it, and when to advance. Join thousands of successful students worldwide who have achieved their musical goals with my proven method. Visit PianoLessonWithWarren.com and start your 7-day free trial today. So this is a new chord that wasn't in the beginner's version or the intermediate version, and it's a secondary dominant to take me to the 5. So I know I've been changed. Then take me to the 5. There's two things I'm doing here to add some rhythmic creativity. So on the 5, I'm doing these inner movements. Right? So just take that 5 chord in first inversion and you're moving up the notes in the chords. So 1, 2, and then we're back to the 1. No, I've been changed. Or no, see that flick? No, I've been changed. You can do that little ba-da-da-doo, right? Ba-do, ba-do. Then I go back to the 5 as a turnaround. Then this time, no, I've been. So now I'm harmonizing this melody right here. So it's like a B add 9 in first inversion, right? So this is a B add 9, but I'm playing it in first inversion. I'm just harmonizing the melody. No, I've been changed. In the intermediate version we just did. No, I've been changed. But I'm harmonizing that now with no, I've been. Because I'm on a B, I figured I could just play a B chord in inversion. In change. And now that resolves to this D flat 7 nicely. Then we go to the minor. Now I'm introducing a new chord. I'm using this as a passing, which is sort of a B13, major 13th chord. And then this dropped me to my B flat minor 11. Then we introduced this chord, an altered, the same altered chord, 5 altered dominant in the intermediate version to the 1. And you might say, Warren, how do you know that you can use a B pass in here? And then how do you know you can use this B major 7th? You know, a lot of times I get questions, people say, how do you know how to use that? It's experimenting. There's no theory that tells me that I could use that chord there, literally. I just said, well, the bass line is moving, and I've been actually doing that in the bass since the beginner's version. So when you generally have bass movement like that, there's a strong chance that you can make that into an entire chord movement. And so now it's a matter of, but what chord am I going to use and what quality? Now I'm trying to stay as diatonic as possible, right? So remember we talk about in the beginners and intermediate version that when you're playing in a minor key, oftentimes you're going to find yourself go between the harmonic and the natural minor. That's just the nature of minor keys. So in that case, I figured the melody is so now I've been changed, the angels in heaven done, right? That's what we've been doing before. So I said, what if I just move down the chord? Angels in. And I said, that sounds good. Heaven done. And then it also resolved nicely. And so every time you see me using all these fancy chording, you're saying, but what's the theory? How you know it will work? I don't know it would work. All I said, well, there's an opening here for a chord. Because the time allows it. The bass is already moving in that direction. What if I just harmonize the rest of harmonize that bass note? What can I come up with? And then I always assume diatonic first. I said, is there anything diatonic that I can use to harmonize it? And if it doesn't sound good, then I say, well, what if I change the quality of the chord? These are literally the decisions I make and the questions I ask myself. And that's how I'm able to determine, okay, so this works. But the thing is, I've been doing it for so long that I can tell when there's an opening for a chord. So in other words, what I'm trying to explain to you is instead of saying, what's the theory behind it? How do you know it could work? Try to ask yourself, is there an opening here? And then try. And then use your own ears and say, does it sound good to me? And if it does, you're good. If it doesn't, your next question is, well, what do I need to change the quality of the chord? Do I need to change the voicing? And if you try all of those things and it doesn't work, maybe that's just not a place for a passing chord, and you move on to the next. That's it. It's a lot of experiment when you get to this level. So that's how I know I can go. Then, angels in heaven done, sign my name. Now I'm doing this little gospel walk. Whew! Right? So it comes from the major version of the chord. We do that all the time in major, right? So I said, what if I do the minor version of that? Wherein now, I'm on a minor chord, so I have to just now use my ears and say, right? So I'm constantly using my ear to guide me along the way. So I'm using that as sort of an ending tag on these sections of the song, right? Let's try that again from the top. So we got a I, and again this bounce. Now sometimes you might see me do I, right? Again, sort of like a rhythmic fill in. So all I'm doing is moving through the chords, moving through the scale. This is the one chord in first inversion. So I'm literally thinking, but again, now harmonizing all of that. Using notes of the scale. So they're all first inversion chord. So this is a B flat diminished in first inversion, B major in first inversion, D flat in first inversion, and back down. So right? Then I've been changed. Sometimes I harmonize that melody too. So I might do I can go. So again, but now I'm doing. Or, so the first chord you can play it as that, which is a sort of like a minor 5 in first inversion, or you can play a 4 chord in second inversion. Both works nicely. Sometimes I like the 4 because against the 1, it really just creates a minor 7. So it sounds more in line. Sometimes I like the, which kind of gives me that almost like minor 9 vibes. So it depends on what sound you want to go for. Listen to my inflection of how I'm playing. I'm not doing, I'm swinging it. Ba, ba, da, ba, right? I know I've been changed. Same thing again. Takes you nicely to the 5. If you're not using that secondary dominant, that's a cool movement. Or you can go, right? So even if you want to move up the left hand to that dominant chord, against this movement, it gives you some crazy sounding chord. So it can work in context. Right? So, because all I'm doing is just moving through the chord again, but the timing is going to land on that. Again, moving in first inversion triads to create little inner movement, little inner fillings, and then we come back. I've been changed. The 5/7 turnaround. I Then we kind of have the verse, and now I'm just using the verse as more like embellishment. So I'm just like, follow me down. So I'm really just embellishing. I'm not even thinking about melodic note here. Then the angels in heaven down sign my name. Two things you can do here as a turnaround. You can go back to, or you can do, and get back to the one. So both works nicely. I'm just messing around the blues scale. Angels in heaven done sign my name. The angels in heaven done sign my name. Now again, don't sit here and try to slow down and say, what's those middle melodic run Warren is doing? Because I don't even know what I'm doing. In that, ask me to play back what I just played, and I'm going to come up with something different. All you need to know is Warren is using the blues scale, and he's building melodic runs from the blues scale. There's so many different variations I can come up with. So you just pick one and play it. And tomorrow you might come up with a different variations, and the next day a different one. It's fine. As long as you're keeping the time, right? Angels in the minor 7, heaven down, sign my name. All right? Let's do it one more time in context. 3, 4. See? Sign my name. The angels in heaven done signed my name. The angels in heaven done signed my name. All right, so that's it for I Know I've Been Changed by LaShawn Pace. Beautiful Negro spiritual. Now we've completed the key of A flat for minor key songs. The next key we're going to jump into is the key of D flat. All right, so stay tuned. Bye for now.